Ethan noticed it for the first time on an ordinary Tuesday night. He was brushing his teeth, half asleep, leaning over the bathroom sink like always. He spat, rinsed, looked up, and froze. His reflection wasn't looking at him. Not exactly. Ethan was staring dead center at the mirror, but the reflection's eyes were slightly off to the left, as if looking past him at something behind his shoulder. Ethan blinked. Hard. His reflection blinked too, perfectly in sync. Okay, normal. He was just tired. He leaned closer to the mirror. So did the reflection. He lifted his hand. So did it. He breathed out. Fog spread on both sides. Everything normal. Except when Ethan turned around to check behind him, his heart stopped. Because in the mirror, his reflection didn't turn. It stayed facing forward, staring at the empty space where Ethan's head used to be. Staring, not blinking, not moving, just watching. Ethan laughed nervously. Okay, that's not funny. He turned slowly back toward the mirror. His reflection snapped back into place a fraction of a second too late. A lag, like it had been caught off guard. Ethan stepped closer, face inches from the glass. Did you glitch? The reflection leaned in too, but Ethan hadn't moved. It leaned closer on its own, and then, just for a heartbeat, it smiled. Ethan didn't. Ethan stumbled backward, nearly slipping on the bathroom tiles. The reflection's smile vanished the instant he moved, snapping back into his neutral face, like nothing had happened. He stood completely still. So did it. He raised his right hand slowly. The reflection lifted its left. Perfect mirror perfect. Normal. But Ethan noticed something. His reflection's fingers weren't matching his shape exactly. They were curled, just a little too stiffly, like it was copying the idea of the pose, not the movement itself. Ethan tried to steady his breathing. Okay, he whispered. If this is just my brain messing with me, do it again. He nodded his head. Reflection nodded. He tilted his head. Reflection tilted. Then Ethan suddenly jerked his arm sideways, and the reflection froze, halfway through the movement, like it didn't know what to do. Ethan's breath caught. You didn't expect that, did you? The reflection's pupils expanded, wide, unnatural, as if surprised. Then it moved again, but instead of copying him, it slowly, deliberately raised its own hand. Ethan's stomach twisted. No, don't. The reflection pressed its palm flat against the inside of the glass, fingers splayed, not mirroring him, inviting him. Ethan stepped back instinctively, and the reflection's face changed. Anger? Hurt? Disappointment? He couldn't tell. Its expression shifted just slightly enough to feel wrong. Ethan whispered, "What are you?" The reflection slowly lowered its hand, and then, with a soft, almost playful tilt of the head, it shook its head. Ethan blinked hard. What does that mean? The reflection moved its lips, speaking silently. Not you. Ethan's skin crawled. He backed towards the doorway, but halfway out, he froze, because in the corner of the mirror, over his own shoulder, a second reflection appeared. A shape. Someone standing behind him. Tall. Still. Too close. Ethan spun around and saw nothing, but when he looked back at the mirror, the second reflection didn't disappear. It just took one step closer. The second reflection stood behind Ethan's, not copied, not mirrored, not even shaped like him, just a tall, faded silhouette, shoulders too narrow, neck too long, head slightly tilted, as if trying to understand what standing meant. Ethan's pulse hammered in his ears. He whispered, "Who is that?" His reflection didn't answer, but the silhouette moved. Not with him, not with the reflection. It moved independently, a slow, dragging step closer to Ethan's reflection, its outline smudging and stretching like wet paint running down a canvas. Ethan stepped fully out of the bathroom, heart pounding, but the mirror still showed him standing inside the doorway, frozen, still looking into the glass. His reflection wasn't following him anymore. It was stuck where he left it, standing alone. Except it wasn't alone. The silhouette was now directly behind it, right behind his frozen reflection's shoulder. Ethan whispered, "This isn't real. This isn't real." He reached for the bathroom light switch with a shaking hand, but the moment his fingers touched the switch, his reflection jerked its head up, not moving with him, moving at him, as if noticing something for the first time. Its eyes widened, expressive, human, terrified. But Ethan wasn't making that face. Ethan wasn't even in the room. The reflection lifted its hand and pressed it against the inside of the mirror again, but this time it wasn't inviting him. It was warning him. The reflection mouthed a single word: "Run." Ethan froze. Then the silhouette behind the reflection slowly raised its own hand, placing it directly on top of Ethan's reflection's hand from behind, a perfect eclipse. Ethan's throat tightened. "Stop! Let him go!" The bathroom light flickered as if responding. Then the reflection turned its head ever so slightly, eyes locking straight onto Ethan from inside the glass, and in a trembling voice he wasn't making, his reflection whispered loud enough to hear, "It's not trapped in the mirror anymore." The silhouette suddenly snapped forward, a violent, unnatural lunge, and the entire mirror surface shuddered like rippling water. Ethan stepped backward into the hallway. The mirror didn't show the bathroom anymore. It showed the hallway behind him, live, real time. Except there was something wrong. His reflection wasn't in the hallway frame, only the silhouette, standing exactly where Ethan was. The hallway on the mirror's surface looked exactly like the one Ethan stood in. Same light, same shadows, same angle, but the Ethan inside the mirror was gone. Only the silhouette remained, tall, still, head tilted toward the ceiling as if listening for something Ethan couldn't hear. Ethan slowly raised his hand in front of his face. Nothing in the mirror moved, not him, not the silhouette. The mirror wasn't reflecting anymore. It was showing him something else. Ethan whispered, What am I looking at?" The silhouette suddenly snapped its head downward, a fast, unnatural drop, facing directly forward, straight at him. Ethan stumbled back, hand brushing the wall. The hallway light above him flickered, just once, and in the mirror, this same bulb. The hallway was pitch black. Ethan couldn't see his hands. He couldn't see the mirror. He couldn't even see the floor beneath his feet. But he could hear something. Breathing. Slow. Deep. Measured. Not human. It came from right in front of him, where the mirror should be. Ethan forced himself to whisper, "Who's there?" The breathing stopped instantly. Silence swallowed the hallway. Then, from the darkness, a voice he recognized perfectly. Ethan. His girlfriend's voice. Soft, shaky, exactly as it sounded on her worst nights. But she wasn't here. She wasn't even in the building. Ethan's chest tightened. Emily? His own voice echoed back at him, but not from his mouth. From behind him. He spun around, still seeing absolutely nothing, and slammed his back against the wall. His phone vibrated in his pocket. He fumbled it out with shaking hands and lit the flashlight. The beam was weak, way weaker than it should have been, but he pointed it down the hallway. Nothing, just empty air. But the mirror, when he pointed the light at it, it didn't reflect him. It showed the hallway as if the flashlight wasn't on at all. Total darkness inside the glass. Then a shape appeared, the silhouette, standing inches from the mirror surface, face pressed against the glass, as if trying to smell the light. But on Ethan's side, the mirror looked empty. Ethan steadied the phone with both hands. "What do you want from me?" In the mirror, the silhouette lifted one slow hand and pointed, not at Ethan, at the door behind him, the one the mirror had shown already open in the future. Ethan swallowed hard and turned around. The door was closed, safe. He let out a shaky breath, then froze. Behind him, the faintest, softest creak echoed through the hall. He turned back to the door. It was still closed. He moved the flashlight down. The bottom of the door was lifting, just a millimeter, then two, as if something on the other side was pressing upward on it. Ethan staggered back. "No, no, stay there." His phone buzzed again. Text message. From Emily. But the preview froze Ethan's blood. "Don't trust my voice." His hands shook as he opened it. "Emily, I'm not in your apartment. If you hear me, that's not me." Before Ethan could respond, a soft whisper came from behind the door. "Ethan, open it." It was Emily's voice. Perfectly her. But Emily wasn't here. Ethan backed away slowly, flashlight trembling. He looked at the mirror. His reflection appeared again, terrified, desperate, sweating. It leaned close to the glass and mouthed one silent sentence. "It's learning your voice." Then the silhouette's hand slammed against the inside of the mirror, and the real door behind Ethan slammed once in response. The door behind Ethan thudded again, not loud, not violent, but purposeful, as if whatever stood on the other side was no longer asking. It was checking if the wood would hold. Ethan stumbled backward until his shoulder hit the opposite wall. His flashlight flickered once, twice, then darkness. Something touched his shoulder, not grabbing, not attacking, just claiming. Ethan squeezed his eyes shut, and the mirror behind him whispered in his own voice, "I'll take your place." When the hallway lights finally came back on, there was no silhouette, no sound, just Ethan standing perfectly still in front of the mirror. Except he wasn't blinking. And when he finally did, only the reflection moved. Ethan didn't.
Hey guys, subscribe my channel for more videos.